This is something I experienced while I worked at a real estate agency. The store I worked at was relatively small, it only had about 6 employees. We were only one of several real estate agencies in the neighborhood. One day, I received a request to put a house on the rental market. The 2-story house was about 20 years old. It was in a very good location, only a 5-minute walk from a train station. Strangely, the landlord decided on a rental price much lower than the market rate. I got the impression he was a generous man and was convinced he would quickly find someone who wanted to rent his house. I was excited at the prospect of this easy job. Usually when our company was given a new property to handle, we would put it on our website with a full floor plan and photos, so I visited the house to take the pictures and map it out. Just as I was about to leave the store, my junior colleague Suzuki told me he would come with me as soon as he finished what he was doing. Apparently he was interested in the property too. So we arranged to meet at the house and I left the office. When I arrived at the house, I started taking pictures of the exterior. I took out the floor plan and examined it. In the center of the house, there was a flight of stairs. Next to that there was a private room, and on the other side of the stairs in the back of the house there was the bathroom, toilet, and kitchen. I entered the house and started taking pictures. After I finished taking pictures of the first floor, I made my way up the stairs in the center of the house to the second floor. At the top of the stairs I found 2 private rooms, one on each side of the stairs. In both rooms, the sun shone through the curtainless windows. I started taking pictures in the room on the right-hand side. While I was taking pictures, I heard footsteps coming up the stairs. I figured Suzuki must have arrived, so I decided to give him a little surprise. I planned to jump out at him when he reached the top of the stairs and take a picture of his scared face. I timed it perfectly. Silently listening to the sound of the steps coming up the stairs, I waited for them to be nearly at the top, then jumped out and took a picture. The only thing was, Suzuki was nowhere to be seen. The sound of the footsteps had also stopped. I had certainly heard them. I could almost still hear them if I tried hard enough. As I looked down at the empty, quiet house, I began to feel scared. I knew that I should take pictures of the last remaining room and leave the house as quickly as I could, but I was so scared that I was frozen to the spot. I turned the top half of my body, took one quick picture of the last room, and ran out of the house. Once outside, I saw Suzuki running towards me with a scared look on his face. He came to me and began talking as he breathed heavily. He told me that as he was leaving the office to come to the house, he had run into a friend who worked at a nearby real estate office. When the friend asked him where he was going and Suzuki told him about this house, his friend's face turned grim. About 3 years earlier, a friend of his once rented out the house with the agency he worked for. The house was in good condition, so it was never difficult to find someone to rent it, but very shortly after anyone moved in, they would then come back and cancel their lease. When asked why, they would always say that something was living in the house. In addition to that, multiple staff members of the agency who entered the house for different reasons had strange accidents and developed health problems. It happened so often that the agency where he worked decided to stop dealing with the property. Upon hearing this news, I told Suzuki about what just happened to me. We returned to our office and uploaded the pictures I had taken to the computer so we could have a look at them. The pictures of the exterior, the first floor, and that room on the right-hand side at the top of the stairs. There didn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary. The next picture was the one I took when I tried to scare Suzuki as I thought he was walking up the stairs. In the picture there were two half-transparent feet in the middle of the stairs. They matched the place where I thought the footsteps were coming from. The image was very blurry from the ankles upwards, but I could just about make out that it was a woman. The woman in the picture was glaring at me just a short distance from the camera lens. She looked angry at me for coming into her house, maybe because I had been blocking the stairs at the time. If she could be seen in the photo, it meant that she must have passed through me right after the picture was taken. I wondered if that was why my legs had stopped working. A week later I quit the agency I was working for. It's been a year since I left the agency now, and when I remember what happened on that day in that house I still can't move my legs.